Hello, everyone. Today's Father's Day. This is my special Father's Day edition, and I just wanted to talk about what Father's Day means to me. And what Father's Day means to me is understanding where you are, one in the world, where the world is at this moment. The reason I say that because you can't parent your child now the way you were parented back in the days. It was a different time, a different world. Information was not there. The information we received was false, and not all of it, right? Some of our history was true and legitimate, but some of the way they portrayed the people in our history was different. And sometimes we idolize these individuals growing up, and we come to find out that these individuals were just bad people. So, my bad, I got went off on a history rant for a second, but overall, it's just understanding where you are in time and using that understanding to then communicate with your children. We can try to shield our children from a lot in this world. We can try. But the reality of it is, they have the means and the resources to get the information on their own. So back then, we were parented a little bit on fear, right? It was like, you're not going to do this because this is going to happen. I didn't have a computer or a smartphone next to me in order to Google and fact check my family, and one, you have to understand that. You have to be a little more honest than what there was back in the days. And honesty is important because there's so much information out there flying that, one, you're going to be fact checked, not by just your children, but even if you tell your children something. For the longest period of time, I wanted my kids to believe in Santa. The reason why I wanted my children to believe in Santa is because I wanted them to have an imagination. I wanted them to believe in something. Although you don't see it physically and it's not in front of you, I wanted them to believe in it. I was always big on my kids being a big part of faith and hope. And faith and hope sometimes is believing in something that's not there, no different from the air that we breathe. But one thing I've realized is, being a father is being honest, being a father is being tough, being a father is understanding vulnerability. On top of understanding vulnerability is being a little bit of a mother as well. And when I talk about being a little bit of a mother, is being loving, caring, nurturing. Sometimes as fathers, we think we have to be the tough guys all the time. And probably for the first 5 years of my children's life, I felt as though I had to be that guy, the one that was looking at you like, don't you go do that now. Don't you go do that now. You better sit your ass down. Like, I was that tough guy. I could look at you and scare you. Case in point, if I had a conversation with my daughter right now and I had that low tone in my voice, Jaylani, what are you doing? She'll just start crying. And although I appreciate that respect is there, and in some cases that fear is there, I also don't like it. As I evolved as a parent and I grew as a father, I resented myself for instilling that in my daughter, where she was so scared to speak to me that she would cry. And my daughter means the world to me, the world to me. So knowing that when I have those conversations, it's tough. It's tough because I spent a good part of my life being tough on my kids to protect them. I'm sorry. And one thing you realize when you're tough on your kids to protect them, sometimes it pushes them away from you. And when I first got with my wife, I I understood the loving part so much better. I understood it so much better. And now, I like to have more conversations with my children, and it feels so much better now. I was scared. I'm not gonna lie. I was scared for a good part of my life because I thought that when I've pushed my children but so far away that they would resent me and not want me in the future. And I came to realize that that's not the case. You know, your children are going to love you. Your children are going to understand who their father is. The children are going to understand how you were there for the great moments of their life, how they were there for your great moments of your life. And it's up to you to one understand when you're talking to your children what state of mind and understanding they're in, because sometimes we can have the conversation, but if they don't understand what's going on, conversation's just it's going. So as a father, you know, be understanding, be caring, be loving, be vulnerable sometimes. When you're wrong, you're wrong. When they're right, they're right. You don't have to be a certain age to be right, you know. Make sure they understand what you've done in your life. You know, for the past 10 years, I was focused on my career. Career. Everything I had to do, my time had to be in part, taken up by my career. And just because my kids had food on the table, clothes on their back, and they've enjoyed life so well, I thought that was enough. And I had to come to the realization and make a change in myself and adjust myself to understand that those memories and those items that they purchased 10 years ago, they're not going to remember those things. They're going to remember the days that you spent with them, the laughs that you've had with them, the stories that you've told them. So be there for your child. Buying them things, it just, it's part of it, you know? You got to take care of your family, but spending time, those long conversations, understanding why they love what they love and why they like what they like, understanding why their interests are here today and over here tomorrow. Make that time. You know, I was fortunate enough to have my father, Jose, my stepfather, Gilbert. I was fortunate enough to have my brothers around. They were fathers early on in their life, and I was always taught and shown what a father looked like. I was always taught what a father doesn't look like too, you know? I learned from every situation, positive and negative. But one thing I would say is, in order to earn that father title, you have to make sure that your kids see you as a father. Not other people around you, because other people see the Instagram pictures, the Facebook post, and you can look like something on social media but be completely different off of social media. When you speak to your children, how do they feel about you? What do they say about you? What is their perception of how you have been in their life? That tells you if you were a father or not. Thank you guys. Apologize for getting a little emotional today. You know, I co-parent with my children, so you know I'm used to having them make me breakfast with my wife. And today it was a bit different because of the pandemic and COVID-19 and all that craziness. But I will be seeing them in about a week or so, so I'm excited. And I'm also excited for the fact that I have good people around me, a good wife to keep me grounded, amazing children to keep a smile on my face and keep me young, and amazing figures in my life that were my heroes growing up. So thank you guys. Thank you for being there for me. And for any of you fathers out there that try to tear down other fathers, just understand their perspective and why they weren't there, or why you feel as though they weren't there. Like let that story be told. You know, I've seen a lot of people, oh, you're not a real father if this, and you're not a real father if that, and a lot of women of the world, oh, it's Father's Day for me too. Hey man, y'all got your own day, ladies. Y'all better stop that. I don't think you need to educate the world on how you were a mother and a father. Doesn't matter. The fact that you're a mother and you're there for them is enough. You don't have to tell the world that you were both. I apologize if I offended, but hey, this is my podcast and my opinion. Thank you guys for tuning in. Take care. Take you 215. I'm out.